How many times have you created an analysis and then you've been asked to recreate the same analysis again for instance, a different business unit or a different customer segment? Well, oftentimes what people are actually asking for in that case is an interactive dashboard. And luckily, Quiver can help us with that. In Quiver, you can simply turn your analyses into dashboards by means of incorporating interactive and well-defined components such as parameters into your analysis. And once you've done that, everyone can use your analysis as a dashboard. So in this video, we'll look into how to use parameters and how to create a dashboard out of an existing analysis. Let's go.
Let's start with the airline selection parameter. Since we would like to be able to select the name of the airline in question, we need to create a string-based parameter. We have the choice between two different string-based parameter types: property value select parameters and text parameters. As for all Quiver elements, note the abbreviated descriptions of what each element does in the color bubbles. For instance, the property value select parameter takes an input object set, the blue bubble on the left-hand side, and outputs a string, the yellow bubble on the right-hand side. The text parameter, however, doesn't take an input, but also outputs a string. This means that the text parameter is essentially a free text field, whereas the property value select parameter lets the user choose out of the unique and restricted set of property values of a given object, which is why it requires an input object set. But let's look at this in practice. In this case, we would like to create a drop-down selection where we can choose only from the set of airline names that are actually viable analysis options and are thereby in our data. So we configure the parameter to take the airlines as an input object set and use the object description property as the pre-populated values and drag it to the top of our canvas where we will want it to live on later on as well. If we want to limit the selection to a single airline, we also need to toggle the single select option. Finally, we can configure the prompt and provide some helpful information next to the parameter to guide our user. Right now, our airline selection works via the table that we can see above the newly created parameter. Let's examine how this works more closely in the dependency graph, such that we can replace the table selection with our parameter to filter down our object set. As we can see, the table sits in the middle between the input object sets of all airlines at the top and the select single object at the bottom. Now let's create the same single object, but using the parameter to filter our input data set. We will filter on the airline object where the description is equal to the parameter. So we first select our condition, and then we select our predefined parameter to match the condition and filter down our object set. Let's now rename our object set to selected airline. When zooming out on our dependency graph, we can now see that the filtered object set has been created, but it is not yet tied in with the rest of the analysis. So let's now go ahead and change the input of the downstream objects to our newly filtered selected airline object set. Essentially, we will insert the new object set in the place of the old one by transferring over the dependencies. We can simply do this by changing the root object set for all three dependencies. Now let's take it for a spin and see if it works. Great news! When selecting a new airline in the drop-down, all downstream charts indeed update. We can now clean up the two analysis elements that we are not using anymore. In order to do that, you can just delete the topmost element and all of its descendant elements will be deleted as well. Note that this delete is a real delete, so it doesn't just hide things from view, but it actually deletes all of the cards that we've created. Let's now return to the canvas view. So now we have a drop-down parameter that controls all of our charts by selecting the airline from a drop-down list. However, we would like to add another parameter here and be able to specify the date range for the flights that have been cancelled. For this purpose, we can add another parameter to our chart. Because we would like to add a time range and not just select a single date, we need to choose this option for the parameter as well. Let's reorganize our view again and add the parameter to the top of our canvas. In the same way that we use the airline selection parameter to filter down the airline object set, we should now use the object set that is highest in the dependency graph, and that also has a date property that we can filter on. It is important to take the object set that is highest in the dependency graph, such that we don't have to duplicate our work downstream. In our case, this is the flights object set. So essentially, the same way that we showed above, we repeat the process. We filter on the date by means of our parameter, and we transfer the dependencies from the old input to our newly filtered output. Now when we switch back to the canvas view, we can test it out and filter our analysis to, for example, only flights between February and August. Great! Now our analysis has been transformed into a small dashboard, and it can now be used by more non-technical peers to track flight cancellations for different airlines and different time ranges just by clicking and interacting with the parameters.
Perfect! Now you know how to use parameters in your analysis and turn it into a dashboard. So, over the course of the past couple of videos, we've given you a very basic insight into how to use Quiver. But there's so much more that you can do with it. So in our next videos, we'll show you, for instance, how to add time series data to your analysis. Time series data that might be coming from machine sensors, for instance. And also how to use more complex transform tables and formulas and even models on your data. See you there.